What up, what up? This is Finance, Fitness, and Folk channel where we discuss finance, a little bit of fitness, talk about some folk. So on today's episode, I'm going to discuss why inflation is a mindset. So once again, admin notes, thanks again to all the subscribers and subscribe to the channel. I endeavor to keep pushing these videos out to give you leverage to better yourselves. So let's get into it. So why do I say that inflation is a mindset? We're going to talk about it today, y'all. So, inflation. So, what is the definition of inflation? So, inflation pretty much is when the economy essentially inflates. I know you're supposed to use the same word with a definition, but that's literally what it is. Prices go up, cost of living go up, and the jobs that are out there in America, I'm just talking about America, I'm not sure how other countries work when it comes to that. But in America, inflation pretty much is when prices go up on consumer goods and other things that people buy, but the job market cannot catch up with that particular increase. So I'm getting paid the same money I'm getting paid before inflation. Now since inflation is in effect right now my dollar, for lack of better words, doesn't go as far as what it did before, right? So that's a fact. So I just want to get that clear before I go into this mindset thing, right? So yes, inflation is real. It's not fake, right? There is some factual evidence that shows that prices will go up during inflation, right? I think at one point a carton of eggs like $8. I said in a previous video that I went to the store one time and went and tried to get a 12-pack of soda, and it was $13. It's crazy. Literally everything in the grocery store has gone up exponentially. Vehicles have gone up in price, to include used vehicles, which is crazy. Why would a used vehicle go up? You know what I'm saying? Well, it's the demand states that those vehicles need to go up in price. And also, of course, the housing market, right? So let me get one thing out the way before I go in depth into this video. And I'm not gonna belabor the time. I'm not gonna make the video too long. I just want to get my point across and let you go, right? But the housing market. When you see these prices that have gone up with single-family homes, townhomes, things of that nature, do not expect those prices to go down at all. Like, those are fixed prices right now for the most part. Like, those prices are here to stay. Unless something like extremely drastic happens, those home prices are going to stay the way they are. Like, they're just not going to budge, right? But what I will say is that a lot of folks that already had homes before this housing market went up in price has a lot of equity in their homes, which actually can open access to wealth, right? And then also the interest rates. Interest rates is one of the big reasons why prices are not going to go down, right? And also, just as a history note, right? Back in the 70s, APRs for homes was like 18%. But of course, the cost of living was not that great as well, So you would think that 18% would kind of even out based off the job market. I was living in the 70s, like talking about, so I couldn't tell you, but that was normal back then, right? And in the present day, you would think that 3.5 is normal, and decades ago that was not the normal, right? So for the most part, when it comes to that, folks have been kind of spoiled when it comes to APR. Now, mortgage rates are like 5.5, 6%, depending on what kind of housing market you're in. Sometimes it could be 7%. The only time homes going to go on sale at this point is that the interest rate go down. And the interest rates do plan on going down, later on this year, from what the federal government says. So that might be the time for you to buy a home, right? But I'm telling you, if a home right now, you're looking at right now, is $400,000, that's it, y'all. It's not going to go down. It's going to stay just like that. So get your weight up, get your money up, and if you want to get a single family home, I'm not going to say wait for the APR to go down, for the interest rates to go down, but just understand that you're not going to catch a home on sale like that unless you go and buy a home that's in foreclosure or a short sale or something like that. And I may get into another video when it comes to that. But going back to what I say about mindset, right? So I said all those things initially to get into the topic here. Because when it comes to inflation, folks that got their money right are not affected by inflation. I'm gonna say that again. Folks that got their money right are not affected by inflation. Yes, when inflation came on, when it was established, a couple years ago, did I make certain changes in my lifestyle? Not really. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, yeah, I recognize inflation was here, and did I go out and like buy frivolous stuff? No, not at all. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that when it comes to mindset and how you think about money, if inflation has extremely changed your lifestyle and your way of living, then that means you wasn't handling your money right. That really what it comes down to. Like, inflation has not affected my family to the point where my style of living has changed. That's what I'm trying to get at when it comes to this, you know what I'm saying? And it's really a mindset. It really is, you know what I'm saying? Like, your mindset about money has to be right for inflation not to affect you. Think about this. People that got businesses, they want inflation, right? Because that means they're going to get more capital. They're going to get more money coming to them with inflation. Professional athletes, they want inflation because that means that the ticket prices go up, which means that they may get a raise next year when they sign again on the team, right? Folks that got money and folks that are wealthy and folks that understand how money works and folks that actually are good with money, they want inflation. Because if they're making money moves, that means there's more money circulating in the market. If you are extremely affected by inflation, you're on the other end of the spectrum. You're on the side where inflation is pretty much damaging your life. And you need to get on the other side of inflation, right? And like I said before, did I buy frivolous stuff when inflation came upon us? No. I mean, I did understand that, buying eggs for $8 was crazy. I was going to try to find somewhat of a deal, you know what I'm saying? But that's because, for a long period of time, I did not know how money worked. And I was kind of in the poorhouse to a certain degree, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to change the mindset when it comes to looking for deals. But my mindset has definitely changed when it comes to money. And when it comes to inflation, I can still take my wife out to dinner and it does not bother me. I can take my kids to an amusement park, to the movies, and it doesn't bother me. Even though I may be paying double the price of what I was paying before inflation happened, that does not matter to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm still watchful of my money, and I don't want money just, to flow out of my pocket. But inflation doesn't stop me from living the way I want to live. That's what I'm really trying to get at right now. Inflation does not stop the way I want to live. And when it comes to people that know how money works and they're good with money, and the folks that are wealthy, inflation does not bother them. You know what I'm saying? If inflation is bothering you right now, that's a problem. That is a serious problem because, for one, when inflation comes upon us, there's a very rare chance that prices are going to go back down. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at history, when it comes to inflation, almost every single time inflation happened, the prices stayed the way they were, and it just took the job market a long time for the pay of jobs to rise to level out where inflation was at. But for the most part, you're not going to see prices go down anytime soon, if not ever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like either you change your mindset about money, you change your mindset about getting an extra job or creating a business. You got to change your mindset. You just do. You know what I'm saying? Inflation should have changed a lot of folks' mindset when it came to money. It really should have. You know what I'm saying? Inflation is a wake-up call for folks. What it means is that you just are in a situation right now where cost of living is just really messing you up. And if it's messing you up, then you need to change how you think about money. And you need to either start learning how to save, right? Start learning how to invest after you start learning how to save, right? You can't invest in anything if you're not saving anything. And you got to make sure your bills are paid. You got to make sure stuff is paid. You can't be in a whole bunch of debt. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing that kind of messes folks up when it comes to this thing called wealth. Like, You know, if you're gonna sit here and invest, but you got $10,000 in credit card debt, that's crazy. That's ridiculous. Like, you should not be investing anything. You shouldn't have no stocks. You shouldn't have no cryptocurrency. None of that. Pay your bills off first. Pay stuff off first, and then start investing. That's the way you're supposed to do it, because basically you're in the red when you're investing, because you can take the money you're investing and pay your debt off, right? But anyways, that's the reason why I say inflation is a mindset. You know what I'm saying? Because inflation is fear. What I say in the video, the last video I made, God has not given us a spirit of fear, right? So inflation is basically fear. Inflation is telling you that I can't afford things. I can't live the way I want to live. You know what I'm saying? If you're walking down the street right now and you see a BMW and you're broke, and your mindset, you're thinking you can never have a BMW, then guess what? You're going to manifest that. When I was broke, or for lack of better words, or I didn't know how money worked, you know, and I didn't have savings or anything like that, I would dream, and I would like go to the mall and window shop. I would see cars, and I'm like, man, I wish I had a car like that. You know what I'm saying? But I never thought in my mind that I could not have that one day. And when it comes to inflation, inflation will trick you out of your game. Inflation will make you think you can never have nice things in life. And that's really not what it is. Like I said, inflation is definitely real. It's not a fantasy. You know, prices have gone up. You know what I'm saying? But your mindset towards inflation will really dictate how you live your life. You know what I'm saying? So once again, inflation is a mindset. Change your mindset about money, and you will change your mindset about inflation. Inflation is invisible to folks that got money. Inflation is invisible when it comes to folks that got money or know how to handle money. You don't have to be rich and not be affected by inflation. You can be somebody that, for lack of better words, is not having six figures, but inflation can still not affect you if you know how to manage your money, right? It's all about money management. So manage your money, change your mindset about inflation, change your mindset about money, and everything will work out for you. All right? Like, comment, and subscribe. I endeavor to keep pushing these videos out to give you leverage to better yourselves. Find Fitness and Folk. Triple F, I'm gone.